You know the deal on Unity, it's been a hell of a year. Up nearly 20 bucks, about 19 and a quarter, or a whopping 111%. And Mr. Flowmaster has been painstakingly cataloging the saga. I believe you teased us on the last show, Mr. Flowmaster, that you were eagerly awaiting the release of data from the 13F reports on Unity. So you could see what the hell's going on out here. Mr. Flowmaster, what'd you find for us?
I really am obsessed with this name, and I get to be like a detective, which is fun using the options data. And so I've mentioned before, we use the 13F filing reports, which are SEC mandated reports that managers and trading groups have to file every quarter. And not only do they show their stock holdings, these come out, and that's why you see the headlines like, oh, Buffett got into XYZ. That's the same reports that are being analyzed. But for options, it's a little bit harder to figure out what's going on. And you also have the issue with they're just basically declaring that they're long calls or long puts. You can't tell what strike, what contract. But in Unity, which in April we saw 10,000 lot blocks of December 40 strike calls bought back when stock was 24-ish, and we talked about it back then. I decided it was worth a little long stock position, and lo and behold, the stock does finally spike. It's at 36 bucks now, as you said. Those calls made the buyer a good chunk of change. I haven't done the numbers lately. The positions are still open, and so I was waiting for these 13F filings to hit in the middle of August for the end of June quarter end, so that we could see specifically who had 80,000 calls in Unity, because it's a concentrated enough position that it's not going to be held by a whole bunch of different filers. And weirdly, I still can't tell you. And that's why I get to be a detective, but I haven't solved the case yet. We see plenty of calls being disclosed, but it's the usual suspects that have the biggest positions. Susquehanna, Citadel, Jane Street, these are the big liquidity providers. They tend to have the largest inventory in general. What I was expecting was for some buy-side hedge fund that we've never even heard of to pop up in the top 3 or 4. And I don't see it. And I'm not sure why. The mandate to file is pretty clear. However, if you're not managing assets, you don't have to file. It's conceivable that one holder didn't have to disclose what they had, or maybe somebody just didn't file because they didn't file. So still not clear what's going on in Unity, but I'm going to keep on and I will keep you updated.